convocation period, the University of Saskatchewan Senate selects individuals to receive the highest honor our institution can bestow, an honorary degree. I'd like to call up Brooke Milne, Dean, College of Arts and Science, to introduce this ceremony's recipient, Yann Martel.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Yann Martel. Yann Martel is one of the most acclaimed authors living in Canada. Born in Spain to Canadian parents, he adopted Saskatoon as his home and has generously contributed his time and resources to the benefit of this city. Mr. Martel is best known for his international best-selling novel, Life of Pi, one of the most influential books of the 21st century. Life of Pi won the 2002 Man Booker Prize, among many other awards, and was translated into more than 50 languages. A London stage adaptation of the book won 5 Olivier Awards, and a film adaptation by director Ang Lee received 4 Academy Awards. Mr. Martel's other books include The Facts Behind the Helsinki Rockamatios, Self, Beatrice and Virgil, 101 Letters to a Prime Minister, and The High Mountains of Portugal. In Saskatchewan, Mr. Martel is known as much for his charitable work and his arts advocacy as he is for his writing. He has generously contributed time and resources to many community healthcare and cultural organizations, including the Remain Modern Art Gallery, Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan, the Friendship Inn, and the Sanctum Care Group. Locally and nationally, he is a powerful voice for arts and literacy. Mr. Martel has served on the boards of organizations ranging from the Saskatoon Public Library to the Canada Council for the Arts. He is a previous writer-in-residence at the Saskatoon Public Library and a former visiting scholar at the University of Saskatchewan. In 2021, Mr. Martel was named a Companion of the Order of Canada, the Order's highest rank, for his contributions to literature and for his philanthropic work. He continues to live in Saskatoon with writer Alice Kuipers and their children. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Yann Martel and ask that you confer on him the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
It is my pleasure to now call on Dr. Martel to the podium for his remarks. Dr. Martel.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, guests. Thank you, everyone. I'm humbled by this award, but I'm even more humbled by being in your presence. You who have just are receiving your bachelor's. There's nothing more thrilling than being in the presence of young, open minds that will change this world. I just have a few minutes with you, so I want to share 2 things. A single word, a single concept, a little backpack of a word that if you carry with you on your back, will help you in your journey through life. And then I'd like to briefly discuss a movie that's at the cornerstone of American cinema. So the word, so hold your breath, don't blink. The word is flossing. Flossing. If you don't floss, every day, you will go to hell. Hell is full of people with bad teeth, bad throats, bad guts, who then died. However, if you floss, you will naturally do what goes with flossing. You will, for example, not smoke, not drink, because those are not only bad for your life, they're bad for your teeth. You will eat well and exercise for the same reason. If you die, it's not good for your teeth. And if you don't eat well and exercise, you will die younger than you need to die. This may seem like an aside, but I would encourage you to have great sex. You're at that age, really, right? You're in your 20s. Have great sex. Now you may wonder, how does flossing help you with great sex? Well, no one wants to have great sex with someone with bleeding gums and bad breath. And also, in life, you want to be kind, open-hearted, and non-judgmental. And not only with people who are like you and who like you, it's actually more important to be open-hearted, kind, and non-judgmental to people who are not like you, who may not even like you or think they don't like you. All those jerks you will meet in life, those are the ones you want to be kind, open-hearted, and non-judgmental with. And flossing will help, because what do we do when we are open, kind-hearted, and non-judgmental? We smile. We smile, and flossing will help your smile. Also, in life, really, you want to travel. You want to see the world. I encourage you to go to India, to Bolivia, to France, to Poland, to China. They will open your mind the way 4 years here opened your mind. And you're wondering, what does flossing have to do with travel? Well, when you travel, you eat strange foods. And flossing will help get that food that's stuck between your teeth out of you. But also, I remember when I went to India, I ran out of floss. A little tiny thing made that little dramatic sound when the last little strand came out, and it was too short. And I said, I don't have any floss, damn it. And I couldn't find any floss in India. I went to any number of pharmacies and they told me, oh no sir, we don't have that, we don't know what that is. They kept their teeth clean in other ways. So the next time I went to India, I bought all the floss I needed. And that did two things. It helped me avoid root canal, but also it kind of rooted me. Every time I flossed, I remembered this is where I'm from. It also rooted me in where I was from because I happen to have Canadian dental floss with me. Also, you want to read. You don't have to read difficult experimental fiction. I don't care what you read, but you always want to have a book on your bedside table. You always want to have a book on your bedside table. If you read 1 page a night, you'll have read an average book in 1 year. And the more you do that, maybe you'll get a little bit faster, and maybe you'll get to a stage where you're reading a book maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks. Now, flossing and reading. Well, normally, if you floss, before you go to bed, you pee, you brush your teeth, and you floss. And you're going to start associating flossing with reading. It's the last thing you'll do before you read is floss. You'll do it like a Pavlovian dog and associate reading with flossing. So as soon as you floss, you'll get excited about the book you're about to read. One thing I'd encourage you to do, all of you here, is end the reign of old white men. We've had too many old white men. I'm one of them. We've had too many old white men ruling us. Look at the US. And we want a future in which women people, BIPOC people, queer people have their say for our collective good. So for the young white men here, I would encourage you to lead, to step up by, to a certain extent, stepping aside and making way for people who are different from you, who haven't necessarily come from a systematic privileged background the way you inherently necessarily had if you were a white male. Step up by stepping aside, make way for others who are different, who will make this world a different, better place. And flossing will help you with that. Because no privileged group has ever given up its privilege willingly. And if you're going to bite at them, if you're going to bite them so they move aside, you need good teeth. So you need to floss. So remember, you must floss. So you don't go to hell and you make this world a better place. Now, I'd like to discuss briefly a movie that's at the cornerstone of American cinema. Now, it's not Citizen Kane. That's history, as Rambo said. Nor is it, because I know your generation, it's not Frozen. And I don't want to hear you burst out into a chorus of Let It Go. I know you did that the first 150 times you watched Frozen. It's not that movie. It's another movie. Now, by the way, The Gods of Myrtle Spellshire, can we turn the lights up just for a second? Is that possible so I can see the graduates? Is that possible? Is that good? I want to find out among you, who here has not seen Kung Fu Panda? Who has not seen, come on, be honest, who has not seen okay, you? Okay, you're not getting your degree. But I'll explain it a bit so you know what I'm talking about. So in Kung Fu Panda, for the educated majority here who've seen Kung Fu Panda, one of the many strands in that movie, if you remember, is an evolving father-son relationship. An evolving father-son relationship. And at one point in the movie, the father confesses to his son that in fact, he's not his biological father. That the son is a foundling. And then the story goes on to explain how the son was found. Now, those of you who've seen the movie will remember that the father is a goose. And the son is a panda bear. Now, as all of you, even those of you who haven't studied biology will know, it's exceedingly rare for a goose to lay an egg out of which emerges a panda bear. It's very, very, very rare. And not in this case. And what's particularly funny in the movie is the son looks surprised. He says, really? I'm not your son? He's completely surprised. Now, what does that actually say beyond the laugh? It says that you see what you need to see. So our panda character, our panda son, is raised by this goose, is lovingly raised by this goose, and he thinks of him as his father, and he is his father. And he doesn't notice that they're radically different species. He just doesn't see that until it's brought to his attention. You see what you want to see, you see what you need to see. And that point is reinforced a little bit later in the movie. The father runs a noodle shop. He sells noodles, and it's a hugely popular noodle restaurant. And the most popular dish is the noodle dish with the special sauce. Everyone loves the noodle dish with the special sauce. And at one point in the movie, towards the end of the movie, the son asks about this special sauce. Like, what if he needs to make the special sauce one day for his aging father? And his father confesses that, in fact, there is no special sauce. He just said there was a special sauce. But in fact, it was the regular sauce. But people who had the dish, thinking it was a special sauce, found it even better. So once again, it makes the point that you see what you want to see. You see what you need to see. Now, what does that have to do with you now? Is that essentially life is like that. Life is not reduced to facts. Facts are just the starting point. Everything is about how you interpret those facts. The facticity of a fact is only one aspect of it. Most everything about that fact is how you take it, what you do with it. And so what you need to do to get around that fact, if it's an inconvenient fact, is use your imagination. Start problem solving. And your education is all about that, problem solving. So I'd encourage you, like the panda son in Kung Fu Panda, to see what you need to see in this world, which does not mean delusion. It does not mean delusion. Delusion is not helpful. That's turning away from life. It's a question of developing a kind of discernment where you see the fact that's inconvenient, and then you start seeing how you can change that fact. That has much to do with interpreting it. How do you bring that special sauce to to the regular noodle problem you will confront. And that has everything to do with your sense of imagination. You can't just adhere to the facts. You're not a little bug crawling along saying, oh, food, oh, food, oh, food, oh, predator, I'm dead. That's not a good life. Life is about rising above those facts, building cathedrals in your mind that you will then bring to the world and bring out different facts. But for that, you need to realize that you must get beyond the facts. You must get beyond the facts and weave them into your imagination in something that's a greater totality. So there you go. Flossing and Kung Fu Panda. Thank you very much.